everyone, and welcome to another Trimcraft Tuesday video. Apologies that there was not one last week, but you know, life, it happens and it gets in the way sometimes. But yes, for this scrapbook layout, I am using one of the newer collections from Dovecraft. This is the Lost and Found collection. I do have a video share of this collection if you'd like to see it, if you haven't already, as well as some of the other newer items from Trimcraft, but I do end up using an awful lot of this collection in this video, so you know, you're kind of going to see it anyways. So for this layout, I wanted to do a sort of a grid patchwork kind of effect, kind of thing going on. So what I've done is I've chosen one of the sort of the simpler and lighter papers from the collection, that 12 by 12 one, which is kind of like this off-white with some greyish distress colour and little hexagons on for my background. And then with the 6 by 6 papers, I've gone through every single paper except that hexagon one and cut lots of little 2.5 inch squares. On reflection, it might have been better to do 2 3/4 inch squares because there are quite big gaps between my little squares, but you know what, it's fine. So I did 2 of each paper. I knew that that was going to be too many for what I needed, but I wanted to be able to sort of pick and choose between what colours to use and stuff. And then I spent some time sort of figuring out where each one would go, so I didn't have 2 of the same pattern together or 2 similar colours together. And then, as you saw, I take a picture because I have the memory of a gnat. And then I'm pulling those aside because what I wanted to do is I wanted my grid, my patchwork to be straight, because if I just eyeballed it, it would not be straight. I would not put them on straight, just impossible. So very, very lightly in pencil with my T-square, I have drawn a grid over the entire paper at so lines at 1/4 inch in, and then lines again at 3, 6 and 9 inches, which meant I could then put each little paper square in the center of my drawn squares so that they would go on straight, which made me happy because yay for straightness. Anyways, so then they went on with just a teensy little bit of double-sided tape because I was going to do some paper stitching, and by which I mean I'm going to stitch around the edge of every single one of those little squares. I wanted like a patchwork quilt kind of effect, and yes, that's what I did with that. I do that off camera because obviously it took a while to stitch around all the edges of all of those little squares, so I just, you know, I know to some people it's like that's way too much effort, but you just, what I do when I'm doing stuff like this anyway is I just kind of, I put a film on or whatever, and then, you know, I think I took this into bed, got all nice and cozy in bed with a hot water bottle and put on a film on Netflix and just stitched away, and there we go. It did obviously take a while, probably about a film's worth and a bit, but I'm really happy with how it looks. As you can see, some of my stitching isn't very straight, but after doing that grid, that was my precise quota for the month. I can't do any more measuring after that. Nope, can't do it. Have to eyeball it after that. And I did it in, did I already say this? I don't remember. I've done it in an off-white cream coloured thread just because I thought the white would be too much with this collection. It wouldn't match too well, so the cream colour works a lot better. And so there is my photo. This super cute photo I came across is me. I'm going to say very young, like 2, maybe even slightly younger than that, I'm not sure, with my dad in a park, and I think I've obviously picked him a little daisy or something, and I'm giving it to him, and it's just, isn't it cute? So cute. And it looks like, it's hard to tell what season it is. It's either just coming into spring or just starting autumn, I'm not sure, but the colours of like the trees in the background and stuff kind of work with this collection in that it's not bright spring or summer, it's that sort of slightly milder kind of colours that, as I said, go with this collection. So I really wanted to use the stamp set because it's my favourite part of this collection, and I'm just doing a couple of stamps on the little grids or squares, whatever you want to call them, and I've done the stamping with Distress Oxide, not for any reason apart from the fact when it comes to coloured inks, those are really the only ones I have. All my other inks seem to be in black or lighter colours like pastel blue and pastel pink, which obviously that would not have worked. So yes, they don't stamp amazingly, I will say. They're better for doing things like mixed media-y kind of things, but it's fine. Like the deer I've stamped at the top right there, you can't really see it, but at the same time it does look kind of cool. But yeah, I did want to have something going on some of these little squares where it's not, you know, around the action of the photo. So around the photo, I have got some of the twine, which I've just sort of bundled up, and that's just going to go underneath. This little hexagon, wooden hexagon, all of these things are from the collection. Those are just going on there with some tacky glue. And for the twine, I've only put the tacky glue where, you know, the photo is going to cover the glue up kind of thing. So that's why I'm just marking those little spots there, just so I know where to put the glue. So it does kind of look like the twine is kind of loose, but it's not really. So yes, there are other colours of twine, but I thought this sort of green and mustardy yellow mix like stood out nicely as well. I'm putting my photo on some foam, as I kind of nearly always do at the moment, but obviously it needed to go on a foam because the twine and the hexagon frame were going to lift it up a little bit, but I've only just done little patches of foam and figured out where it needed to go over the hexagon and stuff like that. So yes, those little wooden arrows I love. I always get, when I get a collection from, when Trimcraft send me a collection, there's often bits that I get doubles of, so things like the puffy stickers and the gems I've already ordered spares of, because I always just use so many of them. But I really wish I'd got some extras of these wooden arrows, because I just think those are awesome and I feel like I'm going to use them in everything. So yes, definitely should have ordered a spare pack of those, because I think those are wonderful. So yes, adding on a couple of the puffy stickers. I added that arrow one as well because, you know, I like my rule of 3, so having an extra at third arrow I thought was good there. Then adding like a little camera, the good times one. I didn't want to add too many of like the camping stickers because it's not really to do with camping, so I avoided those ones like the kettle and the lantern and stuff. So just sticking with like the camera and the good times and stuff. And then I also went through some of the American Craft sticker books because I wanted a couple of phrases and just a couple of little extra bits as well. So I've got the One Canoe 2 sticker book and the Maggie Holmes. I nearly said Heidi then, I don't know why. But yeah, the Maggie Holmes one as well. So that's where that phrase came from that says delight in the... I can't see on my screen right now, but that mustardy yellow one I thought went quite well. And then these little phrase stickers, which are from the One Canoe 2, and just I'm putting those around some of on the little squares and stuff. So, you know, there's still sort of action, as it were, going on some of the squares, little areas of interest and stuff, but the main area is still very much the photo. Oh, and I added one of the little paper clips from the collection as well, because I thought that would just look pretty cute up there. And then a couple more phrase stickers from the Maggie book as well. These sticker books are so handy. They really, really are. And as for my title, I've said to you guys so many times before, so I shouldn't really be repeating myself, but I do struggle with titles in that coming up with them. I really, really struggle with it. And when I was looking at the puffy stickers at first, that one that says for you, which I've put, that sort of flag shaped one that's at the bottom right of the photo, I ignored it at first because my brain automatically thought, well, that says for you, so I'd better save that for a card that I make. But then I was like, actually, that could work as my title for this layout. I know it's not very big for a title, but that's what I'm doing. I'm giving him a flower. So, and it's like the kind of thing a little cute little child would say, you know, this is for you. So that's what I'm going with for my title. I thought that would work quite well. So just then I was putting down some of the little buttons from the collection, and now I'm just adding a couple of the gems and stuff. I don't know why one of them I added glue and then some of them I didn't. I don't quite know what that's about. I did add a lot of them around those sort of, you know, those extra clusters I did on the little squares and stuff, just to bring interest to those, and then obviously lots around the big photo area as well. And then I just wanted a couple... Too many of the grids, I keep calling them the grids, the squares were still a bit plain, so I've added a couple more puffy stickers to those, and that, I believe, is it. So, fairly quick one for me. It did obviously take a long time to do the stitching and stuff, but once that was done, the rest of the layout came together quite quickly. So yes, I'm really proud of how this one looks, actually. Maybe that's just because of the amount of work that went into it, I don't know. Okay, there we go then. I am finished. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will put links to this collection in the description box if you want to check it out for yourself, as well as links to the couple of other things that I used as well. Please leave me a thumbs up. I would so appreciate it if you enjoyed this video. And yes, I am now going. Thank you again. Bye bye.